Hold on. We are live. It's the NBA rundown. Tyler and I, finally, Tyler, our first sweep of the season on the sheet. And I guess my point for that would be if people think that sports is rigged and sports betting is rigged and things to that effect, just look at the sheet. Because now we're +5, right? We're finally have a winning record on the air. We're 58 and 53 with 2 pushes. But we're still down units. So you know how Vegas is making their money, or DraftKings, or whatever sportsbook you're using? It's the -110. They don't need to rig games. That's all I have to say about that. It was a great night for us, though, Tyler, as the Sacramento Kings qualify for the in-season tournament. How awesome was that? We had Warriors +2. It's the best case scenario for me. I saw the beam on my ride home. We're in the in-season tournament, yet we cashed the play. What were your overall thoughts on the NBA last night?
Yeah, it was a great night, great betting night. The Bucks were able to get it home for my deal with it play. The unders all cashed for us too. The ones,
even
the ones I was worried about.
Spoelstra's the reason I lost that.
Spoelstra is.
He got the tech. That pushed you guys past the number. I think I would have covered if he doesn't get it.
Hey, in the end, it was an excellent sheet. If you needed the victory lap that bad, we didn't get the sweep, so I'll take the sweep in the end.
I wanted that victory lap, bro. I wanted that one. I wanted it.
We both get the victory lap because we swept the sheet in the end. But we need to assess something.
I think we're 2-0 on Deal With It plays now.
We got to assess something in the chat. Our guy Don Fila somehow commented at 3:17 p.m. and it is only 3:04.
That was yesterday. He thought he thought,
okay. I was about to say our guy's got a time traveling machine. He needs to go to about 10 o'clock tonight and let us know who's winning so we could just bet all those things.
Yeah, no, because I think people aren't aware that we only do this 4 days a week on the Nuke the House channel. That's right. Nuke the House, subscribe, thumbs up. But we do have Meg as our host on Tuesdays, which is kind of fun for me, Tyler, because I can look more stuff up during the show when I'm not hosting, right? So a little bit of different flavor. And, of course, we do a great NFL show with her on Thursdays. And on that one, we just give out our favorite bets. We don't talk about every game. We come back and break down every single game on this channel Fridays. So that's what you have. And if you don't know, the keg is on live for NASCAR, NFL, UFC, giving out live winners. This channel is the place to be. Nuke the House. Tyler, any more takeaways from last night?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, in-season tournament's pretty much locked in.
What do you think of the bracket?
I got to look at it again just to see who's matching up where. I can get a really good look at it.
So I know it off the top of my head, bro. I'm an in-season tournament enthusiast.
To be completely honest, bro, I fell asleep before the Warriors game was over last night. I was on my old man stuff. I was in bed by like 11:30, 12.
Uh-huh.
I thought they won the game until this morning. Like, I woke up. I didn't even look at box scores. I just went, checked my account, seen we won the bet. And then I get on Instagram and see the highlights of how the game ended. And I'm like, oh, we almost lost that in dramatic fashion.
It was crazy. Yeah, I was worried we were going to, too, when they stormed back. But these things happen. The Kings qualify. So, in the western side, it's the Lakers versus the Suns. The Lakers will have home court in that one. We host
the Sacramento Kings, though, isn't it? Or
no, quarterfinals are in the higher seeds. Semis and finals. So, it'll be Phoenix in the Forum or whatever their Staples or whatever they are, Crypto, whatever they are now. Kings will host the Pelicans. And on the other side, the Pacers host the Celtics.
Oh.
And who's the other one?
Milwaukee and
New York.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee will host, I believe.
Yeah, because they won their group. That win.
Do they have odds for this up right now? We should look into that real quick.
They should. In-season tournament odds right here. I see Boston's favorite +310, Milwaukee +350, the Kings +490, Lakers +550, Suns 6-1, Pelicans 12, Pacers 14, Knicks 17.
Do you like any of these numbers?
Lakers 5.5 to 1 is not bad.
Yeah, I got them 6-1, and I think that they're highly motivated to win
my
this.
biggest worry is they probably have their hardest game right off the bat. That's a pretty tough one to start with.
Yeah, and that's where they get the home, though, right? It's much better to play Phoenix and Los Angeles rather than having to play them on a neutral.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. They got a lot
My
of
biggest worry is them in the finals, but you can hedge out at that point.
yeah.
I think
I have lines
whoever
up for
comes
these
out of the
games.
East is going to be better.
I have lines up for these games.
Do you? What do you got?
Boston -5. Pelicans or Kings -5.
-5?
Yeah, give me the Pelicans all
Yeah,
day.
that's terrible. We should be like -2.
Bucks -6 and Lakers -2.
I think those other lines are good, don't you?
Yeah. That Kings
The Pelicans one is the one that stands out. I'll bet you that closes at like 3. I think the Pelicans will take money there.
I would not doubt that.
Yeah. Milwaukee's only +330. Boston's +290. We have better Lakers record. We have better odds on bookmakers than the Lakers at +550.
What do you have?
We're +550. Lakers are +600 for Kings.
Oh yeah, Kings are +490 on FanDuel. I'm not sure
why would the Kings be higher favorites than the Lakers?
I don't get that at all. My guess is because they're 6-point or they're 5-point favorites in their first game. Just mathematically, that gives them the 60 cents. I guess.
Okay, no, you're right. I guess I just think that they made a mistake on the -5.
I think they made a mistake also, but that's if somebody asks me why, that's my reasoning behind it.
Yeah, and I think I would have to. I think the Lakers are the best bet here at 6-1.
Yeah, I'm checking DK right now. Yeah, DK has Lakers 550, Kings 550, Celtics 3-1, Bucks +340, Pelicans 12-1 keeps sticking out to me, the spread.
I don't like that one.
You don't think they could beat you guys and move on?
I think they can beat us. I don't know if they can beat Phoenix or LA though.
If it's Phoenix, I think they could beat Phoenix.
If you were to take Boston or Milwaukee, only one of them, who would you rather have?
Probably Boston.
I think so too. I'd rather Milwaukee win, but I think Boston.
I think if Milwaukee wins, they're going to win it by just offensive output and just outscoring guys to where Boston's just going to be able to do either.
Yeah. All right. Well, do we want to make any official bets on the in-season tournament or just jump into tonight's card?
Maybe jump into tonight's card. I don't think those numbers are going anywhere until – because that technically doesn't start – does it start Friday or is it Tuesday when all those games start? Or is –
So it's December 4th, I believe. Let me double check right now.
I believe
the Celtics and the Pacers. This is on TNT. And we do the King, or we host the Pelicans. And this is Monday, December 4th. So that's what? 5 days from now?
Yeah.
When are the other ones being played, though? Are they not till the 6th?
They're Monday, Tuesday.
Okay, yeah. So then Tuesday, the Bucks host the Knicks. Why is that one not on TV? That's weird. It has to be on TNT. Anyways, then the Suns will host the Lakers. Then, is there any games on the 6th? I think there's going to be like 10. I was reading, Whale was sending stuff in our chat. I think there is a bunch of games on the 6th that the schedule doesn't have listed yet. Do you have games listed for the 6th right now?
I'm going to it right now. I see 11 games listed there right now.
Yeah, so I don't have them listed here. I use CBS for this. 10 games on the 6th. Then the semifinals will be on the 7th in Vegas. Then there's 11 games on the 8th. And that'll be all the makeup games, I assume.
Yeah.
Then the championship game is on the Saturday the 9th.
Okay.
For this deal. You know what's cool, Tyler? Unless I have this wrong, I think we have 3 Sundays off this month.
I like that.
So I don't think we'll have any games this Sunday.
Sundays in the NBA are just so weird, too.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I feel like we kind of rush through our projections because we have so much football going on that day.
Yeah, probably.
So then we'll have the 3rd, the 10th, and the 24th off. So our next one will actually be the 17th, of course, too. But that'll be kind of nice. And then our Sundays will be NBA only. Well, I mean, we'll have the playoffs, right? But I mean,
Yeah, after that.
playoffs are so compared to a regular season, right? There's so much less moving parts, and it's not that crazy Sunday morning frenzy. All right. Well, anything more before we dive in?
Nah, that's pretty much it. Dump into tonight's games.
Overall, dude, this in-season tournament's a success. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, definitely. It's been fun to watch. I
Nuke
will
the
say
house.
the Knicks take the cake for the ugliest court though, with the just the pure orange all around. That was bad to look at last night.
Yes. How do you see the basketball?
Yeah, it was so bad.
All right, let me move back over off of these futures lines to tonight's lines, right? Let's get this money tonight. The Orlando Magic are minus 10 at home against the Washington Wizards. Total 234. We've talked about the Magic, Tyler. Overall, the best against the spread team in the NBA, going 14-3 against the spread at overall, 8-1 against the spread at home. But now the lines makers have caught on. The books have caught on. The Magic are laying 10. Are they ready to be laying 10?
Against a team like this, I think so. Washington stinks. You see, like, for instance, the other night, that Jordan Poole play, he crossed Cade up. Cade almost ended up in like the fourth row. And then he stands there, looks at the center, tries to do a little scoop layup, and the center sends it into the fifth row. So this Washington team is just so bad. They're led by Kuzma and these guys, and that's just not guys you want to be led by. They're not going to win many games this year. They might set the record for worst regular season record. Do you think you could see that happening here? Because I think so.
What is it, 9 games?
And they don't have the discipline to win games. That's the biggest thing. Like they're
Yeah,
gonna
they'll get too many easies, though. Plus, Washington's a party town.
yeah.
On the low, I didn't know that. But supposedly the nightlife is great there.
Yeah. I mean, all the politicians got to get fun somewhere spread. So
Tyler, quietly, the Wizards, 7-3 against the spread on the road.
yeah, but they're usually getting more than this. They're usually getting 13, 14. And this Magic team is one of the best defensive teams in the league. I think they covered the 10, but in the end, they have dominated first half spreads. Let's just take the first half on this Magic team. Like, if you want to have some
first half,
if you want to have some fun, I don't hate doing the trifecta, like first quarter, first half, full game, because I think they could easily just run away with this game. And their defense is just keeping them from scoring. And Orlando's ends this game like 115 to like 90.
Do you like the under?
Yeah.
Our projection's like the under. You want to make that our play?
I like under, and I like the Magic first half.
Do we want to make them both plays?
We'll talk about it later after the show spread. We'll get the finals, and then you send the people to the spreadsheet. No need to force it right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no hurry.
No need to put it on the spot, make it an official play at the snap of a finger. We'll get to it.
Just yesterday we disagreed about everything. We ended up on a bunch of winners. Today we agree right off the bat here. Los Angeles Lakers are -7 in Detroit, taking on the Pistons. I project this game at 225. It's a 229 total. Quietly, the Pistons are 6-1 in their last 7 at home against the Lakers. To be fair, when we're doing this spans 7 years, right? So you're going back to Blake Griffin and before LeBron even got there. I don't know how much to make of that trend. I don't want to take the Pistons right now, Tyler. I really thought Monty Williams was going to help this team. I have no idea what to make with them. They've lost, 14 games in a row? The Lakers are coming off a 40-point loss. I know the projections say the Pistons. To me, it's Lakers or pass.
I'm against you here, but I'm not against you enough to pull the trigger. I just think this is one of those spots like LA in Philly. Like they got blown out. I don't think this is a spot where it's like, oh, like, could it be the spot where they just come out and they're like, let's trounce a terrible, terrible Detroit team and just get our mojo back? They could easily do that. But they also have to fly to OKC tomorrow and play a high-profile OKC team that actually looks like they could be a contender in the West. I feel like they would rather make their statement tomorrow. I think they kind of just cruise through tonight's game. I see LeBron's got the Q tag. Won't be surprised if he sits. I know I say that a lot, but playing on a back-to-back, I think he could sit this one, play the OKC game.
It wasn't a back-to-back. Wasn't that game on Monday night?
No, I'm saying they play tomorrow.
Oh, I understand your point. Okay,
They're in OKC tomorrow, so it's not, they're going from Detroit down to OKC. That's a bad travel spot. He's not playing one of the two games. I think I'm very confident saying that. I think he sits this one. I lean Detroit plus the 8. I can't pull the trigger, though.
All right, we agree there. Projections like the under. I'm fine staying away from the total. The Phoenix Suns are -2.5. They're in Toronto. They are taking on the Raptors. Total's 226.5. My projections say to take the +2.5 here. I'm not so sure, Tyler. What do we do?
I lean the Suns, but I don't think we should pull the trigger. KD's got the Q tag on him with a right foot soreness. He could sit in this one. We'd still have Booker out there, which is good, but then it's just the guys that they can throw at him on defense. Like Anunoby can go guard him for a little bit. Scotty Barnes could come guard him. They have just the length on defense. Gary Trent could even go guard him at times. Like, they have a ton of bodies they could throw at these guys. I think they're a deeper team. They're at home where they play a lot better. I think it's a little bit of a trap spot. I'm probably just staying away from this game as a whole.
Yeah, I like Phoenix here, even though the projections like the Raptors. But I'm fine staying away from that one as well. This is the one I like, but you weren't so sure about. The New Orleans Pelicans are hosting the Philadelphia 76ers. 76ers 2-point favorites on the road. We already talked about they're coming off a 40-point win over the Los Angeles Lakers on Monday night. Potential letdown spot? I don't know. Pelicans are 230. Total here is 230. I have the 76ers winning by 2 on a total of 227. But I like the Pelicans here. I think it's a great spot, and I really like this team, Tyler, ever since you talked to me about how well they're playing defensively. Your concern here is will CJ McCollum mess up that new defensive soundness that the Pelicans seem to have found? I was hoping Trey Murphy would be back in. Doesn't look that way, but do we get the Pelicans here and a letdown spot, or do you think that Philly will continue to dominate?
No, I mean, it's a weird matchup, to be honest with you. Like, you look at it, this is Philly. Embiid's not going to have the easiest time down low. Like, Joval's a pretty big body guy. Embiid's still going to get his, but that's a guy that he's got to bump out of his way. That's not going to be the likes of like a Chet or even like an AD at this point. Like, those guys just don't want to get in Embiid's way. Mm-hmm. Joval's going to get in his way. Zion's not tall enough, but he is a brick wall. If he gets in his way, that's not going to be fun to move him either. Ingram's going to be a handful for Tobias Harris, and Maxi's going to have his hands full with the likes of Herb Jones and these guys chasing him around. I'm starting to buy in on the New Orleans side here because I think they might put CJ on a minutes restriction, and I think he might come off the bench. I think it's New Orleans or pass. I think this is the spot where just they have, when you look at it, like Embiid by far, head and shoulders, best player on the floor. But after that, how many guys
is it head and shoulders if Zion's playing well?
I think so. Embiid's a
Zion's like close to as unstoppable as he is.
Embiid's like a top 3 guy spread. Like, looking at what he's been doing, like
when Zion's at his peak, what is he though? It's got to be top 10.
Yeah, I think he's like.
I don't think the gulf is that big.
I don't think it's that big, but I think when Embiid is at his peak, he's top 3, and he might be 1 or 2. And at Zion's peak, he maxes out at about 7 or 8.
He's a little higher, but okay, your point is made, and we're actually kind of nitpicking here. Let's look at a couple trends for this game, Tyler. Philadelphia is actually 5-1 in their last 6, and I'm not talking against the spread. This is just they've won 5 games, 5 of their last 6 straight up on the road. Against New Orleans, Philadelphia is 4-1 in their last 5. They play twice a year. And I'd be interested. I mean, some of those might have been terrible New Orleans squads. But, you know, if we want to make some points for the Pelicans here, they've been playing excellent at home. And I know my guy Don Ply said that,
Philly's
the Pelicans
lost on Friday, too.
I don't care about that look-ahead stuff.
You don't think that's a look-ahead spot for them?
No. you? I don't think NBA teams look ahead. Do you?
I think they do.
Unless it's specifically like a team that wronged them.
I think these Eastern rivalries, like you've seen them look ahead. Like the one that sticks out to me the most was last year. Boston played a back-to-back, and it was Washington first night, Milwaukee second night. They're laying like 15 points to Washington in game one. They lost the game outright. They walked out onto the floor the next night and beat Milwaukee by 50. Like, you're telling me that they didn't just go, screw this game, we're going to beat the team that might see us in the conference finals tomorrow?
Yep, you're right. All right. So potential look at spot, but that helps my argument, right?
Yeah, I think it helps our argument on the Pelicans here. I think we should. This is the one that we probably end up in the end making an official play.
New Orleans 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 at home, right? So those Jazz games were in Utah. We'll throw those out, and then New Orleans has also gone under here. I have it at 227 on a 230. That's right around the edge where we consider, but not like a smash spot. Any thoughts here on this total?
I'll lean the under, but it's just like you said, not a smash spot. I just think that it's going to be a little more difficult for the likes of Maxey to get his buckets. And B's got a couple other guys down there that are going to be a little harder for him to move around to get his buckets. And this dude's getting the whistle so much, Brett. Eventually, like, there's got to be a referee crew that just, like, gives him a hard whistle on the night. He doesn't shoot as many.
Speaking of referee crews, tonight
you have it on Cutler, your website. What is it?
JV DeRosa and Jason Goldenberg, and I don't know their names, and that's good.
Okay, yeah,
that means that they're good. Yeah, if you don't know their names, that's good.
Yeah, so hopefully we get a home whistle here in the end, and the Pelicans pull this one off. But as of right now, I think Pelicans are official play. I think in the end we X that. The under may come in too.
Okay, of course, check the sheet up. We got an NBA treasure map on fanspeak.com. We are 58 and 53 on the year. So we just need to have a winning night tonight, and we'll finally move into profit. Yes, it was a tough start, but these things happen, and this is why I love the NBA.
Out of the way to the beginning, spread. They're no fun at the end.
You're telling me, yeah. But I feel like we're dialed in. The process is working. We identified some mistakes that we were making, and we're moving forward here. And that's why this is fun doing this. And this is why I'll probably never quit, even after I make enough money to retire. And I'm not jumping on these YouTube streams with you anymore. I'm probably still going to be betting the NFL and the NBA because I do enjoy. It's not. You can't just do the same thing every day, right? You constantly have to be refining your process. Not only are we handicapping the teams, we're handicapping ourselves. What weaknesses do we have? And that's where it really becomes a lot of fun. One of the weaknesses that I've had, Tyler, that you constantly have to remind me is that I love betting on games between two bad teams. And that's what we have next is the Utah Jazz. Take on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are minus 4.5. My original reaction to this is how can the Grizzlies lay points to anybody? Arguably one of the worst teams in the NBA. We'll take out Washington and Charlotte, right? But one of the worst teams in the West here. Utah hasn't been too much better. And the projections actually agreed with this line. It put the line at 5. I have the total at 227, so a slight lean to the over. On the injury report, we see Clarkson and Olynyk. Those guys are true 50-50s right now, game time decisions. Markkanen will be out. No Chris Dunn. What does that mean? On the other side, Marcus Smart's out and Xavier Tillman's out. So Jacob Gilyard expected to start at point guard. Don't know a lot about him. You can tell I haven't been playing a lot of NBA DFS because otherwise I'd probably know all about Jacob Gilyard. He'll probably be a popular play tonight, right, Tyler? I like the shorter slates a little better, so I probably won't make a lineup tonight. Bismack Biyombo, Jaren Jackson, Santi Aldama, Desmond Bain against Keontae George, maybe Clarkson, Fontecchio, John Collins, Walker Kessler. Boy, I really like the Jazz here, Tyler, but the projections don't, and you hate when I bet two bad teams. What are your thoughts?
I lean the Jazz, but I don't want to get involved and Clarkson misses 2. And you're down Clarkson and Markkanen, 2 of your better scorers. It's on the road, too. I'd rather just not get involved in this game.
Last couple arguments towards my trends or towards my picks. Jazz 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 against Memphis, and the total's gone over in 12 of the last 14 games when these two teams played each other. They're both Western Conference teams, which to me makes these trends a little more valuable because it's not just twice a year that they face off. Yeah, I think I'm going to get there with the over, Tyler. What do you think?
I don't hate that call. Utah will push the pace. Memphis is going to push the pace, so you should get a bunch of three-point shooters out there too. So I don't hate the over.
Yeah, I think we'll go over there. All right, next one. The Houston Rockets are plus 7.5 against the Denver Nuggets. And Tyler, I did not know this until I got up this morning. I didn't know today was the day Jamal Murray might make his return. That's why this line is where it is. And I have no idea why my projections just love the Nuggets so much. Come on, the Rockets are 8-7. What a great team here. The Rockets are 10-4-1 against the spread this year. Unfortunately, they're only 3-3 on the road, where they're 7-1-1 at home. I don't know, Tyler. I always look at these lines at night before I run the numbers and just kind of think in my head. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to like the Rockets there. But projections hate them. Situation hates them. Do we take the Nuggets? I mean, if we were just to go blindly play the projections, right, and only go off the model, this is our biggest edge of the day. What do you think?
I got not a hot take for this game, but I think it's a good way to approach this game. And just game script wise, me running it through my head. Houston played last night. They played a tough game against Dallas.
They almost won. That was a good game.
Ime Udoka runs these starters almost the entire game. They play a ton of minutes. Yeah. None of them are on the injury report tonight. The only guy up there is Tyrese, and I think all their guys play. They're young. They should play in a back-to-back. But this is a very, very tough place to go play the second leg of a back-to-back at because you're in elevation. But it usually takes a little bit for elevation to kick in. I think the way we get screwed on this bet is if there's two ways. One, they're dead when they hit the floor and they have no energy to start, and Denver just kind of takes over from the jump and just controls the entire game. Or B, all these Denver Q tags, the likes of Gordon, Jokic, Murray, all sit, and we're trying to cross our fingers that group that beat the Clippers the other night can pull this off. But I think Houston wins the first half. Denver wins the entire game. Halftime, full-time, plus 490. I see Houston being able to keep this game going. Never mind, as I speak, there goes Fred VanVleet out. Jayshawn Tate out. All the news is trickling in on that game like right now.
See what it reopens at. It's off my board. What do you have?
It's not open yet. And I feel like we're getting more news as this game's as we're breaking this down.
Let's circle back to that one. The Los Angeles Clippers are -2 in Sacramento, taking on the in-season tournament-bound quarterfinalists Sacramento Kings, who snuck out a win against our Northern California rival, the Golden State Warriors, last night. A great win for us, Tyler. But boy, talk about a lit-down spot. That game was up and down the floor, and it was physical. It was both. Seems like a terrible spot here for the Kings, and we've never done well against the Clippers. They're 17-2 in their last 19 trips to Sacramento. This team destroys us. My projections like the Kings here, but I don't know if my projections are factoring in everything to do with this actual matchup here, right? Where this Clippers team is so wing heavy, and that's the one thing that we're struggling with, right, is defending these wings. Finally, we look here. Keegan Murray, game time decision. I think that would help us a lot tonight going against Kawhi and PG. Also, what do you think? Has this team kind of figured out what's going on here? I know they're coming off a terrible loss, aren't they? Did they just get boat raced by
the G League Denver Nuggets?
Yeah, they lost straight up to the Nuggets when they sat everybody, right?
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan had like a Jokic-like stat line.
Oh, yeah, that was nuts. How do you approach this one, Tyler? I
I
kind of
think
like the Clippers here.
I like Clippers too. I think it's a letdown spot for you guys. Yin's guys stole that game in the end. That game actually meant something. This one doesn't really mean all that much in the end. It is a regular season game.
The funny thing is that people will say that, and I agree with you, and I think we're going to end up on the Clippers. But it actually means a lot when you look at where we are, because I think these teams, when we get to the end of the season, could well be within 2 games of each other on the record. Would you think that's fair?
I think it could happen, but I think there's also the path where it doesn't. I feel like the Kings could easily look at the Clippers and be like, we're better than you. We'll be higher in the standings. Like we did it last year. We'll do it again this year. Yeah. I could see that. So
we'll see. I think this game matters more than people are going to let on, just because I do see us all kind of in that mismatch. Last year, what was the difference between 4 and 9, right? Wasn't it like 2 games?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So I know we'll say it doesn't matter to the Kings, but I think it does matter. But in the end, I think the fatigue from a physical, hard-fought game, the emotional high of getting that win, and I think who it was against matters, right? Beating the Warriors matters to this team, and especially to this fan base. I know that. Looking at all the group text messages I got last night, right? We were very happy to get that win. So I like the Clippers here. I have a 233 total and a 231. Is there any trends to the over that we absolutely just have to smash? The total's gone under in the Clippers 7 of the last 8 games. So the Clippers have been an under team, but Kings have gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. And if the Clippers were to win tonight, they'd snap a 5-game home winning streak against the Kings. But I think that happens, Tyler. I'm on the Clippers. Any more thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I like the Harden double-double. You're getting that price at plus 270. Okay. I don't hate sprinkling on his triple-double at 37-1. Mm-hmm. He's done, just looking at his recent games against the Kings, he's had 21, 7, and 15, 4, 7, and 12. That was a terrible shooting game for him. He went 2 for 11. Then he had 2 triple-doubles back-to-back, 29, 11, 14, 29, 13, 14. And then you get back to his Houston days where he was just racking up all the points. So those games were in Philly and Brooklyn, where he's in a similar setup to he is right now, where he can dish the ball and not have to do much. I like the triple-double look and the double-double. I don't mind even taking the shot on Russ to do either of those two at 50-1 or 8-1. So like both of those, like the performance doubles on James Harden, and like the Kawhi one, 25-plus points, and they win the game.
All right. There you have it. Kind of a light chat today, huh, Tyler?
Yeah.
I thought we might take longer to get through here, but we're not getting. I guess they're coming off a 5-0 day. We don't get roasted as much, huh?
Yeah, they need to roast us.
Yeah, probably because Clyde's not in here. That's funny. I talked to him earlier. All right. Best bet time. What's your best bet for the day? For the people watching on the Nuke the House YouTube channel, hit that thumbs up.
Is going to be. This is a tough board.
You know what? I thought it was tough at 9 a.m. Now that we've talked through these games, I got a lot of spots I like, Tyler.
Yeah.
I got a lot of spots I like.
I think mine's going to be Orlando under 234.5. I think they keep that game. They keep that game low enough scoring where their defense still imposes their will on the Wizards, and they win that game 115 to a 96 score, somewhere in there.
All right. You like the under there. Gosh, what do I want to play here? I'm choosing between the Pelicans, the Nuggets, and the Clips. What's the best one of those 3?
The Pelicans.
My pick, helped by Tyler, is the New Orleans Pelicans. We'll take them +2 at home. Tyler, we saw how crucial that +2 was last night. Will it happen again? No money line for me. Give me the +2, and there you have it. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow. What time are we doing this one tomorrow?
Are we doing it after the football?
I think we do fan speak at 3, and we'll be back here at 4 p.m. tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And then Friday, we're doing what? NFL at?
That's too far
NBA.
ahead. Too far ahead for me to know spread.
Anyways, we'll be on the channel. Hit the like. You'll be notified when we go live. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Tyler on the under in the Wizards and the Magic. I am on the Pelicans +2. Nuke the house.